1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock, our favorite chef is in the room, in the studio, Robin.
He is.
And not only because he makes some really delicious food, but he's just such a nice guy. BJ Jacobs is here from True Grits Restaurant, and he's all by himself. He didn't bring any pretty ladies with him. So, Robin, you are it right now. You are it. You're the it girl for this moment right here. True Grits Restaurant is a taste of the South, serving classic Southern food with a little soul. And good morning, BJ. How you doing?
Good morning. Great. Glad to be back.
How's everything at True Grits?
Oh, everything is good. Last week we were extremely busy.
Really?
It's one of our best weeks so far.
Is there an explanation? What happened? People just found out?
Just
word of mouth, right?
Word of mouth.
I think that's what happened. You go on the radio, and some people hear it, and then they go and they tell other people who may not have heard the radio. But I think that's kind of
I think that's the best advertisement anyone can ask for.
And by the way, speaking of our relationship with you, WOCA is our cookbook, which is from 2006 or something?
Yes.
2000, is now in your hands. We've given it to you. Well, what do you think?
I've looked through it, and it's like it reminds me a lot of my church's cookbook.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of identical recipes in there, actually.
Oh, is that right?
Wow.
Is that right?
Like when I was looking this morning, actually flipping through it, there was a squash casserole that actually reminded me of my great aunt's recipe.
Is that right? Is that
Oh,
right?
nice.
So my mom has some. Robin has some recipes in there. My mom has some recipes. So one day, will you ever incorporate them into the menu?
We can try that with specials, things like that.
Then a squirrel. You're not going to be serving squirrel anytime soon,
Mary
right?
Squirrel.
None until I can find some USDA certified.
I know we talked about that too before.
Maybe that'd be a new business venture, you know.
Oh, there you
Farm-raised
go.
squirrel. Or
You know,
something like that.
somebody would go. But you know what? They tried a few years ago to make what do you call it?
Meat.
Ostrich meat.
Oh, ostrich.
Yeah,
meat.
remember they tried to make this like common in America, but it didn't really take off.
Yeah, there was a restaurant here before Stevie B's, and it served.
Ostrich meat's
Ostrich
actually
meat,
rather
yeah.
tasty.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was pricey.
But I guess people are hard to. There's a pizza place down in the Everglades that puts frog legs, python, and gator meat on their pizzas.
Sounds good.
Isn't that crazy?
Would you try that?
Of course.
Wow.
There was actually in North Carolina, there was a pizza place called Pie Works, and they had rattlesnake sausage, gator meat, ostrich. That
You
was
are
all
the
available.
Anthony Bourdain of the South.
Wow.
We should call you the Anthony Bourdain of the South.
Yeah, I think
You're
so.
willing to eat all that stuff.
Yeah, why not?
I have a hard time with. I'm not very adventurous with food. I'm just for some reason. I don't even like syrup embedded into my sausage roll.
Yeah.
Because you know how the McDonald's has the syrup embedded into it? You like
Yeah.
that?
No, I
Oh.
don't like McDonald's
There
at
you
all,
go.
though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? By the way, the other day I was in the grocery store and I bought a box. I know you're going to hate me, but I bought a box of instant grits. And I said, if you see BJ, tell me I'm going to cover this up.
Yeah, he did. He said that.
I felt like a kid. I felt like a kid buying a Playboy magazine and saying to your friend, "If my mom is there, let me know. I will hide it. I will hide it." I didn't want you to see me buying instant grits.
Yeah,
so.
we kept
No,
looking
that's
up the
okay. In a
aisles.
crunch, you know.
In a crunch.
Sometimes you don't have an hour to spend for breakfast, you know.
Well, it's not that. See, I wouldn't even begin to know how to do it like you do it. So,
If you can boil
but
water.
you could. Yeah, that's everybody says it that way. Speak to Elton John about playing piano. Oh, it's nothing.
That's right.
Just sit there and put your hands on the piano. Just happens, right?
I think it's really interesting how many people like the different things with their grits, especially shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
That never occurred to me until you were on
Yeah, you're
board.
the guy. You're the guy who
Yeah.
introduced us to that.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we actually, some people, they like to modify it. You know, we have our normal flavors, the cheddar, bacon, egg, and stuff like that. And then people will ask to add more stuff to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then like one of the most common things to our shrimp and grits, people like to add mushrooms to it.
Oh, really?
So we added our whole roasted mushrooms, and with the shrimp and grits, it's actually
Pretty good that way
Pretty
with
tasty,
the
yeah.
mix together?
So I have a question about omelets. somebody gets a vegetarian omelet. Robin gets this every now and then. I notice they don't hold together. You got it? Am I right? If it's just vegetables and no cheese, doesn't the cheese have to be in there to kind of hold it together?
Yeah.
No, not really?
It all depends on how you're making your omelet.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have French style omelets like trifolds, and then you have the American
Really?
sort of bastardized omelet. where it's-
Bastardized.
Oh, I like
Is that on the menu? Does it say that?
Yeah.
The bastardized omelet.
We prepare it the French style where it's a trifold. You cook the ingredients that go into it, your ham and vegetables, whatever. They get cooked separately, and then they're placed hot inside the middle of the omelet, and then you
Oh,
fold it
wow.
over.
That sounds good.
So you have a nice, light, fluffy omelet.
And do you use all of the egg or just the egg whites, or how do
Whole
you do
egg.
that?
Well, we offer egg whites if
I
people
like
are
the
trying
whole
to be a
egg.
little more health conscious. But no,
Yeah.
yeah, no liquid eggs. So you get an omelet. We crack 3 eggs, whip it up. It goes into the pan, and French style.
You
Cook
should
it.
do a video of you guys cooking in the back and everything.
That's what I'm telling you. He's
cool.
the Anthony Bourdain of the South.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get some cool music. Show your shoes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sliding across the floor like at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Well, then you do your own thing, yeah. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I wonder if he would come down if we actually labeled you the Anthony Bourdain of the South. We did an interview with Peter Max, the artist, and this goes way back before your time, but he was asked to do the artwork for Yellow Submarine by the Beatles, and he was busy. He turned it down. But anyway, they got the Peter Max of Germany. So you could be the Anthony Bourdain of the South. No, I want you to have your own name, though.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Chef BJ.
The restaurant is beautiful, by the way. When we walked in there, it was our first time being in there. We had been to it, but you were closed when we went. And so we went to deliver the books, the cookbooks. You were, I was really amazed how pretty it is in there.
Yeah, we had a interior decorator. Her name is Doreen. I'm not sure of her last name, but she really did a number in there. Went to a lot of the local flea markets and just garage sales, happening, just riding by and seeing somebody with stuff, stopping and saying, "Hey, what's the deal with this?" And so the dining room really is a lot of Ocala, a lot of the history.
We
there
do
is-
have a lot of things going in your favor. I mean, bottom line is the food is good. So that's always the most important thing, right? But a lot of times the food is good, the decor isn't. In your case, the decor, the ambiance is really good.
Yeah.
And you also have this wonderful logo. I've always been impressed with your logo.
The True Grits, yeah, our marketing team, they did a great job with that.
Yeah.
I was super excited as soon as I saw that. And almost a year ago to the day, actually.
Is that right? It's only a year
Wow.
old?
Yeah. April
Wow.
18th will
You're
be our
kidding me.
1-year anniversary. It's exciting because now I get to take all the data we've been compiling over the year and start looking at trends and food costs. and-
Oh, well, that's going to be my next question then. Let's go to the phone. Oh, no, you don't have. You had somebody then, they bailed out. But you're okay with phone calls. So if you do want to call BJ, the number here right now is 622-WOCA, which is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. The ladies that we've met with you before, are they still with you? Well, Wendy, she's the owner, right?
Yeah, she's
So she's still there.
still there.
Okay. The Yankee girl, she's still there?
She's still there part time.
Okay.
Yep. She's planning on going to school and stuff like that. So
Okay.
we like to accommodate people and help
Where
them
did you
move
learn?
on
Where
in
did you
their
learn to cook? I may have asked you this before, but
Well, as far as technical in school was Le Cordon Bleu in Orlando. That
Oh,
and the Nodder School of Pastry Arts.
wow. And how long did you go to school for that?
Let's see, Le Cordon Bleu was
That must be fun classes, huh? You're cooking all day long.
Yeah, it's
Is it a book?
it's partial book,
Partial
and then
book, yeah.
and then they consider it labs where you're cooking. You'll spend a day.
Labs.
Yeah, you'll spend a day.
You get to eat your experiments.
Oh yeah. some of them were actually like experiments for some people in school. Yeah, they didn't turn out too nice. It was really interesting going through the classes.
How do you keep the food flavors from melding over into one another? Because you have to make pies and you have to make entrees and then vegetables. How do you keep the flavors all separate without them enveloping each other?
What, as far as like me cooking them on a daily basis? And
Yeah, because over here you might be cooking some kind of breakfast stuff, and over here you might be cooking a dinner stuff. And how do you keep the flavors from jumping over while you're cooking?
wash, rinse, and sanitize.
What?
Because I've always wondered about that.
So we made Again, you're going to hate us for this. But we made the veggie burgers the other day, and veggie burgers don't have any fat in them.
Frozen ones.
We're trying to be healthy.
Right.
So we were debating, do you put butter on the pan or does that defeat the purpose? Do you put Pam or some kind of spray? What do you put on the surface to keep things from sticking on it?
Olive oil. At the restaurant, we
Olive
use
oil.
a 75-25 blend. It's 75% canola oil, 25% extra virgin olive oil. So you don't have the overwhelming flavor of the extra virgin olive oil. And it's, the canola oil is really light and it has a high smoke point. So you can saute stuff in it without it burning the oil and having a nasty flavor or anything like that.
Or a fog in your kitchen. I get that fog in my kitchen all the time. That smoke fog.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's where the commercial hood system comes into play.
So let's talk about the past year. You're on your 1-year anniversary.
Coming up 1 year, yes, sir.
Well, good for you. And is there only one restaurant or do you have more than one?
Restaurant.
One restaurant.
Yes, sir.
And you said you were going to compile the data to see what the trends are.
Yeah, well, that's in the restaurant industry. Like, now that we come up on a year, I'll be able to look back on this date last year and see how many people came in, like what they ordered. Now I'll be able to start minimizing food waste and things like that because we have, this week last year.
You got an idea.
Yeah, we had people like to eat pulled pork.
Can I tell you
Second
something?
week of March, and they like burgers the third week. It's
Oh, wow.
on the food trends.
That's hard to keep track of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So can I tell you something about advertising? Because that's what we do. I mean, our job is to advertise. I mean, Robin and I aren't directly involved, but when we've had businesses, even restaurants, who came in to advertise a specific item, like let's say this week you're coming in to advertise frog legs or something.
Right.
Next week you're coming in to advertise pancakes or something totally different or some special kind of an omelet or something. That the data we would get back is that it clearly moves that one thing.
Right.
And so it could, just thinking about what you're trying to do now, it could skew your numbers because advertising can influence those numbers, those very numbers. So I'd be curious to see.
Right,
Because
like if you had a promotion that week.
Well, we spoke so much in the beginning because we kind of didn't know where to go with you, to be honest. So we spoke a lot about the shrimp and grits. And I know your menu is way more diverse than that. I mean, way more. The name True Grits is a wonderful name. But at the same time, it might make some people think it's all about grits. And you have so many other items on the menu.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, the grits, I want to start emphasizing a little more, bring more flavors available to those.
Well, and that's smart. You know why I say that? Because when I go to KFC, if you don't mind me saying just another one, I get chicken.
Right?
I don't usually they sell hamburgers, I think, but I don't. We're going to go to McDonald's, I don't get chicken.
Yeah.
Even though they sell it. So I go to someplace else. I always go to the thing that I seem to associate with it. I'm very narrow-minded with food. But your place is very diverse, though.
Very eclectic.
I want the listeners who are more culinarily
Savvy.
sophisticated than me to know that you're there. Well, and any new items that might get on the menu?
Nothing set in stone yet. I'm still playing with all the items we've got up for grabs, trying to cross-utilize products we already have in-house.
Anything for St. Patrick's Day?
Everybody's pushing for corned beef hash and cabbage, so I think we might have to go that route.
Oh, they are?
Good. And green beer, probably.
If we had our license, yeah. I'd love to
Do you know
start some
that
green
was
beer.
hard for us to find? Couple of St. Patrick's Days. Remember we went around
Yeah.
looking? We said, let's go
Corned
get
beef
some.
and cabbage, and we couldn't find them here.
Well, we did eventually find it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fair to BJ to say where, but
Yeah.
we'll come to you this time.
That's right.
This is Monday, right? St. Patrick's Day?
Yes.
St. Patty's Day is Monday. Yeah, we'll do some corned beef and cabbage.
And you're closing what time at Monday?
Monday is our normal 6:30 to 3.
3. So we'd have to leave a little bit early.
Yeah.
We'll have to go early and pick up some or bring it back.
Yeah,
Do
there
you
you
have to go?
We have to go.
What, in a styrofoam box or something?
Styrofoam, there's normal 3-compartment containers.
What's also
We could treat the staff, right? to
Sure, we could.
Corned beef and
Cabbage.
cabbage.
Yeah, we can do that.
Boiled potatoes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We'll call in advance and put our order
We
in.
had a lack of words.
Yeah.
We're thinking about food.
One of the other nice elements about your ambience is that people can come in dressed casual, or they can actually rent out sections or reserve sections, and they can dress a little bit dressier, have your prime rib, things like that in the evenings, which makes for a nice dinner date.
Yeah, we have the back room. We can hold, I believe it's 50 to 60 people.
Wow,
be
it's
closed
bigger than
off.
it looks, huh?
Yes, sir.
On the outside.
Can be closed off. That way you have your little exclusive area. We've held 2 or 3 events in there so far.
Do we need reservations for your prime rib night?
No reservations. But if
Uh-huh.
if you want to call ahead and set up a time, yeah.
Do you have
Oh,
music?
okay.
Do you have music playing in the restaurant?
We do. We have the jukebox in the dining room.
Okay, so the jukebox is the way to do it, isn't it? Because the same agency that we have to pay to play music on the air, restaurants have to pay, right? BMI, ASCAP, and those. Or you don't know? Oh, shh, don't tell me.
It's an
Well,
actual
I think when you have a jukebox, you're not necessarily having to pay them because the jukebox supplier pays them, right?
Well, this is one that we bought at one of the
Okay. So
flea
there's.
markets.
Oh, really? So
Yeah, so it's an antique with all.
you put a quarter in, you keep the whole quarter.
No, we just have it to where it plays.
Oh, it's free.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. Don't
That's
tell.
pretty awesome.
Don't tell. Those guys will show up and they'll say they want them some money. There's a couple of restaurants around here that we know. I can name ABOs because they closed, right?
Yeah, they did.
Do you remember ABOs? They closed. Well, he was in business for some 30-something years, Al.
Yeah.
And he couldn't play music anymore because BMI or ASCAP or one of the agencies, and I'm not speaking out of the side of my mouth because Robin and I get royalty checks from those same agencies because we write music.
Right.
But at the same time, we don't agree with the policy that forces restaurants to have to pay for the music. It makes no sense to us. But anyways, poor Al, the little tiny restaurant, had no music anymore because they even playing the radio in his.
Yeah, in his
Can't even play the
establishment.
radio.
So you know what I told him? I said, you know what you should do, and he didn't take me up on my suggestion. You should get some local band that does not have their music licensed through those agencies, and just get them to give you their approval. Can I play your CD in my restaurant? Get a few of those, and boom, you got some nice music going on.
Not even if you're paying for a service like XM radio or.
Oh, I don't
Pandora.
know. I don't know how that works, but
That's funny.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
if you're
Maybe
paying
so.
for the service, that type of thing.
anyway.
How do you?
Maybe you have to cut off the jukebox then.
No, don't cut it off. I like ambiance. I like the music, and I like the way you've got it decorated.
Do you have all of your food items delivered to you every day? How do you know how long the shelf life is on something like
We do
that?
it twice a week. We get a truck on Mondays and Fridays,
Uh-huh.
and that way we have a small truck on Monday to tow us through the week. And since weekends are our biggest times, we get a big delivery on Friday morning, so we can push out through the weekend. And it's just a matter of being there every day and seeing what sells and what we have on hand, keeping track of it, and FIFOing it out, first in, first out, make sure everything stays rotated and fresh.
Is there anything you don't do that restaurants typically do? Let me ask you about soup du jour. Okay, soup du jour. Every restaurant uses the French. Why don't they just say soup of the day? What's your soup du jour?
Right? The soup du jour. They can charge.
But see,
$1 extra
you
for it.
know
There you
French because French is part of the vocabulary of a chef.
Right.
It's just part of what you do. So it probably doesn't seem unusual.
No, it doesn't even.
What
faze me
does
when
hors
it's-
d'oeuvres actually mean? I know that's French too.
The hors d'oeuvres.
What does the word actually mean? Hors d'oeuvres.
It's
We don't know.
I know it's a 1 to 2 bite dish. You know.
What does the word entree actually mean? Entree.
Your entree.
Yeah. I know it's the main thing, right? The
Yeah, it's
entree
your
is the
main
main
course.
thing. But it sounds like it means the entrance way. Like this is the first thing you should have. But that's appetizer, which is
Right.
an English
well,
word.
you're in the multi-stage of that. You would have your amuse-bouche first.
What?
Amuse-bouche.
What is that?
It's a 1 or 2 bite dish that's supposed to set the course for the rest of the meal, just like to give you an idea of the flavors to come.
Oh, wow.
All right.
That's the
Educate us here.
really fine dining.
Wow.
All right, take us to the dining room. We want to be educated. We want our palate to be educated.
Right, you would have your amuse-bouche first. That's your 1 or 2 bite.
Give me an example of what that would be.
Like something could be like a little canapé with like
What is
foie
that?
gras. Canapé is like a little open-faced sandwich. But it would be really small or
A little sandwich. What's on the sandwich?
Open face.
Like bologna?
Like a foie gras mousse, some blue cheese.
Oh, blue cheese. I know what that is.
Smoked duck breast.
Oh, wow.
Just like a little beginning, 1 bite.
And do you serve mouche bouche?
No.
No. Okay.
That's elevated service.
Okay.
You know, that's
Okay. So the first thing would be a mouche bouche. Now, would the drink be part of this?
a drink. No.
No,
This would
okay.
just be your
Okay.
the beginning taste of the food. Then you would have like your soup. You know, and it's all small portions.
So
Soup,
mouche bouche and then a soup.
then a soup, then a salad. Then you would have a taste, which is almost like an amuse-bouche. That would be like your actual hors d'oeuvre. And it'd be like a small dish
Wow.
broken down.
These people eat a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it can go from 5 to 7, 12, 15 courses.
Really?
Wow.
Just a different procession on.
And so you have your mouche bouche,
Yeah,
your soup,
salad,
your salad, and then your
taste.
taste.
which is like an appetizer.
Okay. And then
And then you would have your the sorbet to cleanse your palate before your entree.
what is a sorbet?
The sorbet is like a fruit, like a granita almost.
Okay. And that cleanses your palate.
Cleanse your palate. It's normally like raspberry or ginger.
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
Okay.
Just
love raspberry.
really light and fresh that cleanses your palate so you can enjoy your entree.
I haven't lived at all, Robin. And then what happens after that? After the
entree, you normally have a fish course.
a fish? Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. So we had what's it called?
Mousse
The clean.
bouche.
Amuse-bouche.
No, I got that already. But I mean the thing that cleanses your palate. What's that called
The
again?
sorbet.
The sorbet. Mm-hmm. So I've seen that word. I thought they misspelled sherbet. So it's not
The sherbet is with egg whites. The sorbet is without egg whites.
sherbet
Oh.
has egg whites in it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
That's interesting.
That's what gives it the frothy foaminess.
I didn't know that. So after the
okay.
sorbet is the entree,
entree.
which could be what?
Roast rack of lamb, couscous,
Roast reckon.
roasted root vegetables,
Couscous?
couscous,
Couscous. So you start out with a mousse,
amuse-bouche,
and then you have a couscous.
then couscous. Yeah.
All right. And then what happens after the entree? There's still more?
Yeah, then you can have your, then you would have a fish dish, which would be a really small portion, maybe
Just-
2 or 3 ounce portion,
Of like cod or something?
whatever it may be.
Catfish? I can't imagine you're still eating at this point.
Well, see, when you do that, yeah, it's smaller
They're all
portions.
small,
It's
okay.
it's not the American glutton plates where you have a 12-ounce piece of meat and a 8-ounce
yeah.
potato.
That should
and
be
a
on your
giant
menu. The
salad.
American
Big
glutton plate.
salad, huge
Right?
vegetables. Yeah.
All right. So after the fish dish, then what?
Then they have like it all depends on how many courses you want to go. You can have like a pre-dessert, which is
A pre-dessert.
it's like semi-savory, like sweet and savory, where you would have like a salty, sweet, chocolatey type thing.
A salty sweet chocolatey thing. Okay. And what would be an example of that?
Let's say like some bourbon caramelized bacon with like a little chocolate tart.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
And then after that,
And then you could actually have your dessert.
which would be an example.
An example of a dessert, you could do a bananas Foster, tableside.
Oh, I like those.
Those are those square things?
Bananas Foster?
Yeah.
And that's where you do the bananas. They're cooked in like brown sugar, butter, rum,
Oh, wow.
orange juice.
You light 'em,
vanilla.
right?
Yeah, you light it
Yeah,
on
you light
fire,
'em, you gotta
tableside,
flame
so it
them.
flames
I know
up.
that part.
I've never lit my banana. I never did this. I haven't lived at all. And then what? Are you done yet?
Then the French traditionally finish it off with a charcuterie plate, which is like aged meats and cheeses. and things.
Aged meats?
You know,
No wonder they're so
deli
thin.
meats.
They eat so much.
How is it
but little
possible that they
tiny
eat all this stuff and
portions.
they're thin? That's why it takes so long to eat. That's what they
Well,
say.
yeah, it's an event. That's what's so great about the European culture with food. That when they sit down, it's with family and friends, and it may take three hours to eat a meal at nighttime.
And, at nighttime.
Yeah,
Wow.
in the evening, you sit down at 4 o'clock in the evening, and by 8 p.m. you're done. Or in Spain,
But when do you do other things? I mean, it seems like, how do they have children?
They've got something figured out.
That's right.
Yeah, they do.
Well, and you also do catering, so we could hire you to cater a
Oh, yeah.
special event.
that's a
and
very
you could
cool.
put all this stuff together
Yeah,
for
and
a
the
person.
catering, it's
and a
not
business?
limited
Wow.
to the True Grits menu. If
Uh-huh.
you have any desires or requests, I'm open to fulfill
Oh,
it.
we gotta do that.
I've said this before. Ocala does not know that Chef B.J. Jacobs is a true chef. I mean,
Yes.
absolutely a true chef.
Absolutely true.
And I think you just illustrated it for us with the answers that you gave to those questions.
You're
the-
amazing.
The food is really delicious. Robin and I have had the food. True Grits Restaurant is located where?
We are at 331 Northwest 20th Street, right down from the Livestock Pavilion, right off of 441.
Right. And don't be fooled by the fact that it's connected to a convenience store / gas station.
Yes, not at all.
It is absolutely
Outstanding.
gourmet. Is the Zori Gourmet apply?
If you want to use that gourmet Southern, yeah, we can.
I mean,
go
you
for that.
guys are. I mean, you've got it together, and wow. I just wish you opened later. It's the only problem with us because of our hours. But you're open on Saturday, so I have no excuse.
For
Yes.
dinner, right? Friday and
yeah, right
Saturday
now
night.
it's
But
still
Saturday
Friday
for
and Saturday.
breakfast. I was thinking.
Yeah, Saturday for breakfast.
Yep, we serve breakfast and lunch all day. And then with this new menu that I'm working on with new additions, we are planning on going breakfast and lunch all day, 7 days a week. So you can get your TG omelets
Oh,
Wow.
or
TG omelets?
True Grits omelet.
Oh, True Grits. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We like to. That's
Do you
our-
put grits in the omelet?
No.
No?
Oh, if you want them, we will.
Have you ever tried that? Does that work? It doesn't work. Makes them too slippery, right?
Well, you wouldn't put it in the beginning with raw egg. We'd have to
Oh, okay.
French style.
Yeah.
Put a layer of grits in. and
French
other-
style.
Yeah.
I heard that way like I was 12. That's how you kiss, French style.
Yes.
Right? That's what you learned, right?
That's right.
You are great, BJ. BJ Jacobs, executive chef over at True Grits Restaurant, and the website is true-grits.com. Go visit BJ and his staff. Go take some time and go visit the restaurant, and you will not be disappointed. And go online to see the menu. I know the menu's online. I looked at it, I think, last time you were here. Thank you, BJ.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Always good to see you. We will take a little break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin. Right